Well, we've all seen the film The Lattice, and afterward, you start to ponder, PC games are getting reasonable to such an extent that perhaps these symbols are genuine. They have to make it one step significantly farther than that. Suppose that this individual who hits the play button, starting this computer game, has a fantasy, and we are the fantasy. Thus, vast cognizance then decides the presence of reality itself. What lies beyond our universe? This inquiry has been fathomed by numerous who came prior to us and most likely numerous that will come after us. It's immense to the point that researchers actually have not had the option to measure the total width of the noticeable universe, and that doesn't even include the imperceptible part yet. Believe it or not, thus we need to understand that the old logicians got some of these things right. Realism, the thought that we're simply iotas, and that is all we are, is restricted to the recognizable universe. The detectable universe alludes to the piece of the universe that we can notice and study through telescopes and different instruments, restricted by the reality of light. The essential way we accumulate data about the universe can go at a limited speed. This implies that we can notice articles and occasions that are inside a specific distance of us, and we can't straightforwardly notice objects or occasions that are excessively far away or that happened some time in the past. The size of the recognizable universe is assessed to be around 93 billion light-years in breadth, which is a lot bigger than the assessed size of the whole universe, which is believed to be around 13.8 billion years old. This is on the grounds that the development of the universe has caused objects that were once near one another to move farther separated, and the light from these articles has taken more time to contact us. By and large, the perceptible universe is an immense and interesting spot, and there is still much that we have barely any insight into. Anyway, utilizing telescopes like NASA's James Webb Telescope and other logical instruments, we keep on finding out more about the construction, piece, history, and different peculiarities of the universe. What lies past the perceptible universe? If the universe is just 13.8 billion years old, how might it be 93 billion light-years across? And why is it that we have barely any familiarity with what lies outside the universe? To arrive at the edge of the discernible universe, we want to foster a few strategies for transportation that permit us to either rise above space-time itself by utilizing twist drive or wormholes, which have for some time been discussed by researchers who accept these are just unimaginable, or to travel quicker than the speed of light itself. The question of whether both of these are conceivable or not is exceptionally challenged, and regardless of whether it were conceivable, it would require innovation and hardware outside the extent of current human insight. The hypothesis of grandiose expansion states that the size of the whole universe is somewhere around 10 to the power of multiple times greater than that of the detectable universe. This is such a major number that it is essentially inconceivable for people. Since we can't see or gauge the imperceptible piece of the universe, we have no conceivable method of knowing what lies past its limits. Yet, that doesn't imply that we can't form speculations in light of the data we truly do have from far-off universes, and NASA has an enormous part to play in this. What did NASA distinguish? NASA, alongside other space offices and examination foundations all over the planet, has made quite a large number of critical commitments to our comprehension of the universe over the years. Before the James Webb Telescope became practical this year, NASA had previously delivered photos of the ultra-deep field utilizing Hubble, the telescope that was utilized before James Webb emerged. With new pictures of the universe, when the James Webb Telescope originally came out, it was utilized to top at the most far-off system that has at any point been seen. The pictures showed numerous worlds gleaming in the far-off universe, which appear to be similarly as they seemed a couple of million years after the huge detonation happened nearly 13.8 billion years ago. The extension of the universe empowers the extending of light to red frequencies, and this empowers the James Webb Telescope to recognize infrared light, revealing universes that were framed right on time in the history of the universe. Since the James Webb Telescope has noticed numerous far-off cosmic system fields, researchers began to study the rate at which stars structure in the early universe. This study prompted the end that 44 beforehand obscure cosmic systems, which dated back similarly as 300 million years after the huge detonation, had just surfaced in the picture, and this is without counting the 11 that had been realized beforehand. These bits of knowledge uncovered that a huge populace of universes structure stars in the early universe. For quite a while, people have thought about whether we are distant from everyone else in this universe, and these new discoveries inside the recognizable universe have driven us to accept that there should be a large number of cosmic systems in the imperceptible. Some portion of the universe, are there outsiders out there? The likelihood that there is life in the universe beyond Earth has never been so convincing. So, the inquiry of what lies past the universe may have an exceptionally straightforward response: that of outsiders. There are numerous planets outside our solar system known as exoplanets that have been found utilizing strategies such as the transit method and the radial velocity method. A portion of these exoplanets might be like Earth and could possibly support life. This hypothesis was further upheld by another of the James Webb Telescope's discoveries with respect to the exoplanet WASP 96b. This is a planet that rests beyond our planetary group and presents a range of light. You might have a hard time believing the features held inside the range showed the presence of water atoms on this planet. What's more, the range too showed proof of fog and mists, which were previously known not to exist on this planet. With such tenable conditions figured out there in the universe, it is difficult to preclude the matter of outsider presence past the extent of our own planet. Shouldn't something be said about the multiverse? Since the noticeable universe is so immense, the potential outcomes inside it are perpetual. The idea of a multiverse, otherwise called the numerous universe's interpretation, is a hypothetical thought in material science and reasoning that recommends the presence of numerous equal universes or aspects past our own. The possibility of a multiverse is frequently discussed in the setting of quantum material science, which is the part of material science that arrangements with the conduct of little particles like molecules and subatomic particles. As per a few understandings of quantum mechanics, the demonstration of perception can make a quantum framework break down into a solitary state. However, in the numerous universes understanding, the demonstration of perception just goals the framework to part into different states, each addressing a different result. The possibility of a multiverse is still exceptionally speculative and isn't yet upheld by convincing proof, so it is challenging to say with sureness whether it is a substantial idea. A few researchers and thinkers consider the possibility of a multiverse to be fascinating and possibly valuable for making sense of specific peculiarities, while others have doubts of its legitimacy. Yet, since we don't have any idea what lies beyond the universe, the chance of the presence of a multiverse is still as substantial as looking over. Does dark matter exist outside the universe? This question is very mind-boggling. Dark matter is a peculiarity that was first proposed in 2008 as a conceivable clarification for the perception that specific system groups appear to be moving surprisingly quick given the wanted dissemination of issue in the universe. The idea of dark matter proposes that these cosmic system groups may be being impacted by some inconspicuous or dark matter or energy that is pulling them in a specific bearing. However, the presence of dark matter is still fairly disputable and isn't yet generally acknowledged by mainstream researchers. A few examinations have recommended that dark matter might be genuine and could be brought about by the presence of a huge, enormous structure in the universe that is pulling these cosmic system groups toward it. Different examinations have been not able to affirm the presence of dark matter and have suggested that the noticed movement of the cosmic system bunches might be due to different factors like systematic mistakes in the estimations. As far as its presence goes, dark matter might just be available outside the perceptible universe. Does a black hole exist? The alarming peculiarity of black holes. A black hole is a district of space where the gravitational power is so solid that nothing, not even light, can escape from it. Black holes can be framed when a star implodes toward the finish of its life, and they can vary in size from a couple of times the mass of the Sun to millions or billions of times the mass of the Sun. The likelihood that there is a black hole in the imperceptible universe is hard to decide, as the idea of the imperceptible universe alludes to the pieces of the universe that are past the constraints of our ability to see. While it is almost certain that there are many black holes all through the universe, it isn't at present imaginable to say with sureness whether there are black holes in the undetectable universe or to gauge their numbers or qualities. Quite possibly they could currently be out there in the field referred to us as the undetectable universe. Does dark matter exist out there? Now, this is one term you should have known about before too. Dark matter is a theoretical type of issue that is remembered to make up around 85% of the matter in the universe. But why is it called dark? Dark matter is called dark since it doesn't collaborate with light similarly that typical matter does. Also, thusly, it is hard to recognize straightforwardly utilizing telescopes or other instruments that depend on the location of light. Anyway, the presence of dark matter is gathered from its gravitational consequences for noticeable matter and the manner in which it twists light from far-off objects. While the presence of dark matter is generally acknowledged by the academic community, it is as yet not completely comprehended, and its nature remains a secret. It isn't understood what dark matter is made of or how it acts, and there are various speculations about its potential properties. A few researchers accept that dark matter might be made up of particles that have not been noticed yet. It is one more secret that might be addressed assuming we look past the limits of the detectable universe. At long last, NASA holds the way to the future. The James Webb Space Telescope was intended to notice the most far-off objects in the universe, as well as give pictures and spectra of items in our own planetary group. It is normal to be equipped for concentrating on the air of exoplanets and may give bits of knowledge into the arrangement and advancement of worlds and stars. The JWST is still in the interaction of being sent off and appointed, and it has not yet made any logical perceptions. Once it becomes functional, it is normal to make numerous significant commitments to our comprehension of the universe, and it might possibly find new and surprising peculiarities that challenge our current comprehension of the universe. It is in this manner the way to disclosures outside of the universe, and we might see them sooner than we suspected thanks to this machine. Other new innovations or logical advances may likewise be created later on that will permit us to notice more far-off objects, articles, or occasions, yet it is hard to say when or on the off chance that this will occur. In the interim, researchers and analysts keep on considering the recognizable universe to more deeply study its construction, arrangement, and history, and to all the more likely comprehend the laws of material science that oversee it. Up to that point, we will keep on being scared of the obscure out there.